everyone, it's Arlene from A Crafty Latina, and today we are going to talk about how to do gift card holders with Cricut Design Space and your Cricut machine. So how cute, how stinking cute are my little gift card holders? Look at them. So let me just show you. This is all, we're going to create this just from all of the free shapes and then one image from Cricut Design Space. So there's your little gift card holder, a message, it's decorated the whole way through, and then you have your band that you put right through it so it could hold your little gift card. Perfect way, customized way to give your gifts. So in case you're wondering what paper these are and what I'm using, I use the paper pads that you get at Michael's Crafts or any arts and crafts store that you have. So the ones that I'm using today from Michael's Crafts are the Sugar and Sparkle paper pack. The other one is the Holiday Glitz paper pack. And the last one that I used was the Christmas Plaids. And I love it because they come with a ton of different patterns. So I just used one sheet from each one. So imagine how many beautiful gift cards you can make from all of these paper packs. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with a blank canvas, and honestly, we're going to just use some free shapes to create this. So it's going to be really easy, and you can make these gift cards for anything. I'm making them for the holidays, but they could be for anything. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into shapes, and I'm just going to use under the free section, I'm going to use the rectangle, and then I'm going to resize it to the main image, the big sort of like the base of what we're going to be using. So I unlock it at the top, and the size that I use, the width is 9.885 and then the height is 4.284, and that's just what's worked for me. And then what I'm going to do with this, first thing I'm going to do is make it white so that I can see what I'm going to put on it. And then I'm going to move this to the position over here on the XY axis. I'm just going to put it at 0, 0 because I can give you the exact measurements then on the next step. So we're going to go back into shapes, and you're going to look for the first thing at the top, which is the score line. And we're going to need 4 score lines. So let's just make the height of the score line 4.284 so that it matches our score line. So what I want to do now is position it. So I'm going to position it, the Y axis is going to be at 0 so that I could be matching at the bottom of our rectangle. And then the X axis for the first score line is at 1.947. So that's where we want the first one. So I'm going to duplicate the score line 3 more times because we're going to need 4 in total. Yep, so that's 3 additional ones. Let's just move these out of the way for now. And then I'll place them where I need them. I'm just going to grab all 3 of them and just change automatically the Y axis to 0 so that I know that they're all where they need to be, and then I could just focus on one at a time. So the next one, the second score line, it's going to be at 4.954. And then the third is going to be 5.965. And then the last one is going to be at 6.962. Should all be at 0, and you'll know they're at 0 because they're all lined up at the bottom here. So I'm going to need a second rectangle, and this is for the band that's going to go around the gift card so that it holds the flaps together. So let's go into, again, we're going to go into shapes. I'm going to get another rectangle. Let me resize it. So the height is going to be, no, the width is 7, the height 1.014. Again, I just want to change this to white for now so that it needs 2 score lines, and I want to put them on properly. This axis that is going to be a 0. This one for 4.524. So I'm aligning it at X is 0, the X axis, and then the Y is at 4.524, just so that I can give you the exact measurements of where these 2 score lines are going to be. So again, let's go back into shapes and let's get a score line. And let's just bring it down. We need it a lot smaller. So the height of the score line is going to be 1.014 because that's the height of our rectangle. Okay, so then now that we have the score line, we want to align it with the bottom of our rectangle. So let's do that. Just align and just hit bottom. Where is it? Here. So that you know that this is aligned, and then we need this to be at the position of 1.985. And then we need a second one, so I'm going to duplicate it. Why can't I say that word? And then I'm going to make that at the axis of 5082. And then again, I just need to align this. With the bottom. Once you have them on the right axis, you just gather the whole thing and you can just align it at the bottom. The important number really for this is when you do the score lines, it really is the X position. I just want to gather everything here and I just want to attach. And I'm going to do the same thing with the top. I'm just going to grab the large rectangle and all the score lines, and I just want to attach them because those have to be completely together attached when you go ahead and cut. Okay, so the next thing that we need is 4 rectangles. These we can move around now. Now everything's attached. We got all the measurements that we needed. You can move these around. So again, let's get back into shapes. I'm going to get another rectangle. And I need 4 of these in this size. So the width is 4 and the height is 2.75. So we're going to need, I'm going to do a little card that's going to have a message on it, so that I don't have to use my horrible handwriting. So again, going back into free shapes and just a rectangle. And this one we are going to size. Let's see, the width is 3.5 and the height, I'm going to make it 2.25. And we're going to lock it, and I'm going to make that white, and we're going to write in there. So let's go ahead and do that. I go into text and I'm going to pick a couple of fonts in here that I use for writing that I like. Babette, I think, is one of them. Yeah, this one here. It's a single layer cutting and writing, and it's a Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to write get something that makes make it bigger, makes you happy. And then I'm going to bring it here so that I can fit it into the size that I want. The other thing we have to do is we got to come in here and we have to change it to writing. So you come into the style and you change it to writing. I'm going to put it in here and I can just resize it. And I'm going to center them together. And I'm going to change the writing. I'm going to use a, hold on, where's the, here, the text. I'm going to use a glitter 8mm, and I'm going to use red. So once you get that, you highlight it together and you need to attach it. That tells Cricut that this writing is attached to this little rectangle, so it knows to write on it. It's going to write and then it's going to cut it out. Let's go back into shapes, and we need 2 other rectangles. And once I put this all together, you're going to realize, you know, all of these crazy shapes how they play a role into everything. So let's unlock it, and then these are going to be 1 point, let's see, the width is 4, and then the height is 1.75. And I'm just going to make this a different, any color, just so that I know. And I'm going to duplicate it because I need 2. Okay, so we have these 2 pieces, and then we need some circles, which is what's going to hold this band together. Once this folds in half, I'm going to put a circle there that's going to hold that. So again, we go back to shapes. This is all created from shapes. Isn't that amazing? All free shapes, which is great. And then I need 2 circles. So I'm going to make 2.25 is going to be 1. And then let me just change that to change that to yellow for now, and then duplicate it. And then the second one is going to be 2, because I want it to be like right in the center of that. And then I actually want this to have a little image in the front. So let's go to images, and there are 2 particular images that I'm going to use, because I'm doing 2 separate, all the same shapes, but I'm doing 2 separate gift cards. It's a Santa Claus, MD777B343. I think he's adorable, so he's one that I'm going to use. And then there's a cutest little penguin that I love. It's MD7B30A. And when you search for images, if you know the number, you just type the number and the image comes up, which is great. And that's my little penguin, so I want to add that one as well. And this may seem a little time consuming, and it is, but it's so worth it. Once you have this template done, you can make this into all different gift cards for any occasion, because you're not, you're just using whatever paper, whatever cardstock you want to use. So I want him to be, a little bigger than the circles, maybe, just so that he stands out. I'm going to use one of those little 3D dots for them. So I just want to size them properly. They're going to be sticking up a little bit when I put them on. Okay, so one last thing, I'm going to go back into images, and here in the middle of this one, let's see where it's going to go. It's going to go right in here. I want to write Merry Christmas. So when it folds, you'll see how this comes together and the gift card goes in the middle, and then you can see Merry Christmas that's going to come out of here. You can type whatever, of course, whatever message you want. I'm actually going to find a Merry Christmas in the images. I like this one, but I don't need this bottom part. So let's see what I can do with that. I just want to keep the Merry Christmas part. It's not anything that I can ungroup. It's not showing like I can, this is not a grouping, so I can't ungroup it. So I'm going to go down here to contour. This is the beauty of contour. If there's something that's together that you cannot ungroup, but you don't want the whole thing, I'm going to hide everything that I don't want. So I'm going to hide this. I'm going to hide everything I don't want. And if it's in a light gray, it does not exist. I don't know why this got in a dark gray. Okay. So that's it. The only thing that we should see when I click the X should only be Merry Christmas. Let's see. Takes a minute. That's it. I only have Merry Christmas. I don't need anything else. So I'm going to rotate this. Make sure I'm directly at 270. And then it's going to go in here. So we just resize it to where we want it. That is it. So we need to make sure all of this is attached because the writing has to go in there. So we have score lines and writing attached to this back white card. This should be attached. Let's make sure everything is attached. This should be attached. Everything is attached. This is a print and cut. I am not doing this tiny little thing in 50,000 layers. There is no way. So we just click on Santa. You go to the bottom of on the bottom right, and I'm going to do the same thing with this little penguin. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to flatten it, and it just becomes one print and cut image. So here they are. And that's it. Let me just do one final check, make sure I have all my pieces. So I have the panels, I have the two rectangle panels, I have the writing, I have my main card, I have the band, I have the two circles that I want, two different sizes, and the two images. They're going to be, I need the identical shapes. It's just going to be different paper. So let's hit make it. This is the one thing that on the Cricut Maker 3, it asks if I'm going to use smart materials only or manually select for each load. For this, it's all going to be on the mat because I'm using cardstock for all of this stuff. So I'm using a mat for everything. All right, then you hit done, and then it's going to break it up into all the mats. It's going to be 6 mats based on all of the colors that we put. So I'm going to go cut this out. All our pieces. Let me just show you everything. So this is the main one. This is the one that we wrote our message on. These are the 2 circles that we created. This is going to go like this. Our message card, our rectangle that's going to be the closure that's going to be around. It's the band. Our 2 rectangles, and then our 4 rectangles that are all the same, and then our cute little penguin that's going to go on the top. So let me show you how to assemble this. Put all these aside. First thing we're going to work with is our main piece, which is the big rectangle. And first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that all of the score lines are delineated like really good, like so that's easy to fold. Doesn't matter if you do it the right way or the wrong way, like it's just as long as you do the score line, just giving it a really good crease to help you work as you assemble the card. That's the key. Okay, so all of it is creased. So this is a rectangle, and you see where this message is. So this is the tricky part, and this is how I do it, and there's different ways to do it. I just find this is the way that works for me. This middle crease where you have this like an accordion style, this is going to go this way. It's going to go upwards. So when you have your card, it's going to be rectangle, large rectangle, then this little fold, you're going to crease it up. So the word will be here, and then this will fold up. The one thing to keep this folded up, what you need to do is flip it over, and these 2 parts here, we have to glue these 2 together, seal those 2 together. But before I do that, this is where the card's going to go. And if I seal this together, it's just going to be like this. It's just going to be like this crease, and there's no little slit here for my card. So I just take a scissor and I literally just cut very tiny. You just need a little slit where you're just going to slide the card in. So I leave about 1 inch on each side, and I just cut across. So make sure if you do a message, you're going to write something here, make it a little lower or a little smaller so that it doesn't mess that up. So I literally just cut across. And it's just the tiniest amount. You just need there to be a little opening so that your card fits in. Nothing major. And then I just loop it up. Okay. Okay, so once you have your little slit, now flip it over and glue these 2 pieces together. I'm just going to put some... Just move this out of my way. Add tech here and just build that up. So this is what you have now when you open it up. You have your inside of your card, and your gift card would slide right into there. Okay. I'm the worst at this. So this is where your gift card is going to go. So it's just like a little flap that's going to go in there. So let's put the rest of the card together so that we can see the entire thing. The next thing we want to do, I'm going to put the small, the two small rectangles. So this is on one and it's going to be on one. So if you have writing on your small rectangles or a pattern that you want to make sure that it's facing the right direction, mine, I don't have that problem. These are just snowflakes. But if you do, you have to make sure that as you close the card, if there's writing, that it's gonna, that when you put it on, it's not upside down or something like that. Mine doesn't matter because there's snowflakes, so I'm okay. Again, just put some Aztec crafter's tape on this. Just put it on both sides. You're going to start seeing all of these shapes that we made come to life and create a great card. Now, the big rectangles are the 4 that you have. These, again, sort of don't matter because some are going in all different directions. But just make sure that if you're using something with a pattern that has to follow the right way, that you look at that carefully. Okay. This one will go here. Make sure you don't, at the crease, you still have room. Next one will go down at the bottom. Okay, so now on the inside, we have another 2 rectangles left. And then the last one goes on the bottom. Perfect. So look how cute that looks. So when you seal it, this is what it's going to look like. The back is going to be like this. This is going to be the front. I just used the blue paper just as a base, but you can use any color, light pink or some, or gold that goes with it. But then when you open, there's your card. And now we're going to put our message here. Some people put it down here, but I like it up here. Of course. And then I just center that on there. How cute is this? So now the last piece is the band. So here is where we have the long rectangle that we made and our circles and our little penguin for this one. So the first thing I want to do is the band. I want to just seal it, put some Aztec and just seal it on top of each other. I make it, I give it a little more on this because it's sticking on glitter and sometimes that's not easy. So this is what it's going to be. You just slide, once you put it on, you just slide your band on and off. I could actually make that a tad bit tighter if I wanted to. So just all you have to do is move it down a little further, make it a little tighter. Let's try that. You don't want it to fall apart. There you go. I think that's cute. That's better. And now right on the fold where we close the band together, that's where we're going to put our circles. So I want to attach the smaller circle to the glitter. Just eyeball and center. And that's going to be attached to the band. So I put extra on this because again, it's going on glitter. I want to make sure that it sticks. I look for the glitter, sometimes it's hard, so I look at where the fold is and I put it right on there. Already, how beautiful is this looking? And then for my little penguin, I use one of the 3D dots because I want him to stand out a little bit. I think it's a little girl penguin. I want it to stand out, so I'm just going to put that here. And there you go, guys. There's the gift card. And you just slide the bands on and off, and when you open it, there's your card, there's your message, there's all the patterns. Look how pretty that looks. Simple, only from Free Shapes. Free Shapes and some score lines, and whatever image you want to use. If you want to use something else you have, you don't even have to put an image if you want. If you have really nice paper, you can just use that and not worry about it. But look how cute this looks. And then I'm going to show you the second one that I did. Here's the other one. This is the Santo. I put that one together already. This is the back of it. Again, all just paper. Some paper and some Free Shapes from Cricut Design Space. And you have cute little gift cards that are custom and are adorable. I love them. I hope you enjoy. I hope you make some for this holiday season or for anything. It doesn't have to just be for the holidays. So, well, I hope you found that tutorial useful and you learned something and that you create beautiful designs with your Cricut machine. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Again, it's Arlene, a crafty Latina, and I will see you soon.